In the NBA, the game can change in an instant, but no matter how the action unfolds, you know DraftKings Sportsbook has your back. This week, new customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets just for betting $5 on basketball. Win or lose, you get an instant dub.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Jenkins, Jenkins. Jenkins. New customers can get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code Jenkins. The crown is yours. Welcome to Jenkins and Jonez on the Volume Podcast Network. It is Thursday, December 7th, and we have got a whole bunch of great in-season tournament action to talk about. Plus, we've seen the trailers for the new Grand Theft Auto game and the new House of the Dragon season. We're very excited to talk about those as well. If you have not subscribed yet, youtube.com/@JenkinsandJones. Guys got us over 1,000 subscribers very quickly. We really appreciate that.
Sheesh.
Go subscribe now so you can see how uncomfortable Jackson is when we bring up paralyzed adulterers.
That was so funny, dude.
Someone said, like, the reason the YouTube is great is so I can watch Jackson freak out at certain topics.
The Ryan Shazier Book Club.
Usually I know some context of the stories that you're bringing up, but that one I really had to Google, and I was like, oh my God, reading it as you were going.
As always, Jenkins and Jonez, hosted by Dragonfly Jones, a.k.a. Tyler.
Hey, everybody, how's it going?
The recently returned LeJethro Jenkins, a.k.a. John, fresh back from LAX.
I wouldn't call it fresh coming out of LAX, but anyway. What's up, Bubba's?
I'm Cardi B, a.k.a. Mike.
Motherfucking Mike.
Motherfucking
Mike is coming to you live.
Mike, Bubba.
From the 562.
Hell yeah.
Produced as always by the lovely and talented Jackson Saffon.
What's up?
All right.
Get it together.
I like, now that we're on YouTube, people can see which intros we really mean, you know? Which intros is the wazza being phoned in on?
Watch the game film.
Yeah.
That's some game film. Hart wasn't in it on that play. Got to die for those loose balls on those intros, man.
Hit the all 22 and was really disappointed at the backside pursuit, you know? Just because you got beat, you can still make a play down the field. All right, let's talk about the in-season tournament. We're all fans of the in-season tournament. It has, without question at this point, done what everyone in NBA media hoped it would do, which is create some storylines that people give a shit about in November and December, which is pretty wonderful. But I have to say, having watched the, I guess they were the quarterfinal games, awesome level of competition, awesome to see the league's best players really caring about it, awesome to have the internet think that the refs were rigging things for the Lakers. This is playoff basketball. Like, this is what we want to see in December. So before we get into the matchups, just how much of a win do you guys feel like this is, that we have some games that everyone's excited to talk about and watch?
I love it. It's been incredible. It feels like just about every in-season tournament game has been, good to watch. And we finally got the Final Four locked in, and I feel like the Final Four that we've got, it's the type of Final Four you want, right? You got the big dogs like, Milwaukee and the Lakers, and you got the youngins trying to make their way, like, you got the Pelicans who are trying to figure shit out, and you got the guy who's having his coming out party out there looking like Davidson Steph Halliburton having his moment. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's perfect. Like, like I said, I think the whole goal was if they can capture the whole March Madness aesthetic, the whole March Madness vibes, like, but with good basketball, unlike what we see with college hoops a lot of times, it will be a winner. They knock it out the park, and they for sure have done that. It's been incredible to watch.
One thing that's cool, too, is the players love it, too. We saw KD talking about it. You know what I mean? How much he loves the playing games, too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it matters to these folks.
Super honest KD, not a company man, because he flat out said, yeah, I wasn't rocking with it, but yeah, this shit has won me over, So
that's exactly what I was going to say, bro. He wasn't one of the people that was out there selling it. They had to win him. I mean, he's a real hoop fan, right? Like, they had to win him over, like they had to win the timeline over, because there's a lot of people who were making fun of this shit because of how ugly the courts were.
I like the courts though. Nice. Like, I don't dislike the court. I like the court idea. I think what
Yes.
they did wasn't the best, but the idea is great, and it does feel different when during those games. You know what I mean? With the high energy as well as with the course being different, I think it's special. I just think they didn't nail it like they wanted to, and I think they'll figure that out.
I was going to say the same thing. The courts, like in reality, are not necessarily the prettiest ones, but it works that it's a different type of game.
Right. As soon as you turn the game on, you know what
watching
time
the
it
game
is. You know
tonight,
what I mean?
was like, all right, regular Wednesday night versus last night. It's immediate. It works completely.
Right. Their biggest problem, I think, is going to be, you're telling me now between December 10th and April, we're going back to the regular season. Like I think, because I had the exact same feeling Jackson. I was watching our poor Pistons guys. I was watching our Pistons lose to the Grizzlies, and it was like, oh, wood court, huh? Just a regular Wednesday night.
and people were talking about how they wanted the regular quarterback, and I'm like, I don't feel that. You know what I mean? I think it was they're a little intense, you know what I mean? And they'll dial it back a little bit. But the idea is great.
Yeah. Have we seen what the Vegas court looks like? Have they revealed that yet?
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I heard that the trophy, which I like, the trophy features prominently on it.
The Gary O'Brien, as the homie Miro called it.
The Gary O'Brien. Which I love. But I think the only other thing I think that I hope they tweak is just call it the NBA Cup. Like that, that's what soccer does for their like the in-season tournament is not a
lot of syllables
name. Yeah, the IST, like people call it the IST. It's like the International Space Station or something. Like it's just call it the NBA Cup. I mean, just like call it, so do what soccer does and just embrace that it is its own tournament. Clearly, everyone's pretty bought into it at this point. So I hope they give it an actual name, because I think the in-season tournament, like, even if it's the Kickoff Cup or something, like just call it something that we can use other than the in-season tournament. I'm tired of typing that shit. Like typing it out or writing IST both feel stupid to me.
When do you think it should end? Because I mean, Christmas games actually matter, but they really don't start playing for real till after All-Star. You know what I mean? So what should they do if they were to change it? Because I mean, like you brought up a good point. Like we're not going to see those courts or anything that's recreates that type of intensity for a while. Like, what would you do to change it?
I would do a second one. I would do a first
Really?
half. I would do a first half cup and a second half cup, and I would do a random draw for the groups the way that soccer does. Like, I mean, to be completely honest with you, I would just copy what soccer does. I mean, that's
basically what they're doing.
That's basically
they
halfway did it, but do a random draw that you televise for the group, and people can be like, oh, cool, they're gonna have like the Bucks and the Lakers, and like I would remove conferences completely and just do it like that. And I think if you do one in December and you do one in like November, December, and then you do one in what, February, March, like. The All-Star stuff, the All-Stars kind of faded. Like the juice you're getting off this, to me, it kind of replaces like what we had with the All-Star.
This can fuck around and replace the All-Star, man.
Yeah.
Being that, like we talked about it, like it's what it was is gone. You know what I mean? They just do it because of tradition. It's not because anybody really is excited about it in the ways they were. You know what I mean? But I mean, I think with the game itself was important because people want to win All-Stars.
Right.
There's like contracts tied to it and all that, but. It means something, but the other shit is kind of cooked.
Yeah, I totally agree. Did you guys see the end of the Lakers-Suns game? Was very dramatic. Austin Reeves with a huge bucket, and then LeBron James calling timeout. The Suns fans felt that the Lakers didn't have possession of the ball.
What do you feel, Mike? Be honest. Be completely honest. It's a safe space.
Well, I said on Twitter
truth.
last night, I said, first of all, I mean, I know it's an in-season tournament. We have a lot of casuals watching, but like for people who really know ball, the Lakers are allowed to call timeout whenever they want in meaningful playoff games, bro. This is David Stern's National Basketball Association. I'm sorry you weren't familiar. You thought the refs were trying to get the Phoenix Suns on national television in Las Vegas? Give me a fucking, but the Suns Pelicans, like they want Giannis there and they want the fucking Lakers there. Like, let's be realistic about it. No, I mean, Tyler and I are of the same mind. I don't need to win any arguments with these cool, the refs cheated.
Okay,
isn't it
cool.
nice
That's all I
be
want
a
to
fan?
hear.
Like, I actually
Yeah.
don't think, like, if you look at all the Zapruder films people put out today, and the NBA did their last 2-minute report today and found that the referees were wrong 3 times, all in favor of the Suns on, like, missed calls. Like, actually, like, Austin Reeves had the ball pinned against his leg when Braun called timeout. I'm more concerned with the fact that our head coach was standing there with his hands in his pockets, like not paying any attention.
No, he wasn't. He was calling the timeout. Our head coach was calling the timeout. LeBron James, best player and coach, was calling the timeout. You feel
That's
me?
right. But yeah, I don't know. How did you feel about it, Tyler? I will say I genuinely enjoyed seeing NBA conspiracy theories on the timeline in December. Really, that felt like home to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've just always been on the side of complaining about refs is pointless, bro, because like, okay, you caught the you got screwed over this time. They'll screw your opponent over next time, right? Like, refs always balance the scales with terrible calls, bro. And it just happens that this was not your turn to be on the beneficial side of it. So I never cry about refs like that, bro, unless shit is just unrealistically egregious. And I didn't really give a shit about that call.
Yeah, I mean, of course you didn't, because you're the team you care about won.
I mean, even if the Lakers lost on some bullshit like that, I would.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they were
game
cheating.
7 of the finals.
Yeah. I don't think they were cheating. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that the call, it was a questionable call, and I do see why people were angered. But like KD spoke about that call too, and he was just like, I mean, it's a call. It's a 48-minute game. You know what I mean? There's a lot of other opportunities we had. Maybe not turn over the ball 20 times, or however many times they turn the ball over. You know, that might have helped. You feel me? So
that's exactly what KD said. He said, we ain't lose the game on that call. We lost the game with turnovers. Like, he flat out said that.
And dude, like the way KD was playing, I mean, he's the person that could have complained, because he was out there looking, bro. The way he was
one
moving,
of the best games of his career.
I'm like just like it. I cannot believe this dude ruptured his Achilles. I just cannot believe it. Like that, the one at the top of the key when he hit him with the hezzy and then step back and then hezzy again. I mean, I verbally was like, whoa, like I yelled out loud. The dude is incredible. But yeah, if anybody can complain, it's him. And he was like, yo, it's hoops, bro. And I would almost rather them get it wrong sometimes than do the 5-minute fucking review shit, bro. No, you know what I'm saying? Like it changes the game completely and kind of like, drains it of its energy.
Let's talk about the games coming up on Thursday. As Tyler said, I think exactly what Adam Silver would have wanted in terms of a blend of established stars or team brands against up-and-comers. Pacers-Bucks, obviously always love to see the Bucks, especially with this new lineup, in meaningful games. But I think Tyrese Halliburton is already the biggest recipient of the benefits of this tournament, because a guy like that, who's on a team that is just not really going to play nationally televised games, who's having an all NBA caliber season, getting to have national attention on him for like 2 straight weeks, this is exactly like the best case scenario. Because again, his star arrives now 4 or 5 months early, or even 2 months early if you think he would have sort of popped off at the All-Star game. I think this is a chance for guys like that to make a name for himself. Like if he's going up against Dame in a meaningful game in Vegas, like that's like, you couldn't make a better scenario for a dude in his position.
He's a star, bro. Like he's got it all. The game is beautiful. He's fearless. He's got personality. Like, he is hilarious on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like
and on camera. Dude, funny as hell in general. Yeah.
Did y'all see the shit where like Bleacher Report or somebody clipped a quote from his interview where he said, "I'm tired of being a loser. I want to make the playoffs and shit." And they just made it, "I'm tired of being a loser" in bold print. And he quote tweeted that shit like, "Y'all are gonna get me memed for years with this." You know what I'm saying? Like,
he knows the game. He knows the game.
He knows the game. He knows how the social media world works and shit. Like, the kid is a star, bro. I mean he has the charisma and the game to go with it. And the in-season tournament is coming out moment. And like I said, I think that's this is just an ideal situation for what you want in the in-season tournament. You want, a young up-and-coming star or two to have their coming out moment, and you want to see, like the heavyweights, in the Final Four as well, like we've got with Milwaukee and LA.
I was watching the Halliburton game with the Kings fan. He's from Sacramento.
Ooh.
I was
subject.
I was watching the Kings game. And I brought up Halliburton. and he was like, "We don't talk about him."
That's exactly what that's what my.
I mean, bro. I mean, he said. But the thing is, at the time,
Fox
he was
is so good though. Too,
You said what? You said what?
I mean, the decision came down between Halliburton and Fox, and I don't know how mad you can be that you got De'Aaron Fox out of that. You know, De'Aaron Fox is a bad motherfucker too, dog. You know what I'm saying? So
You could be pretty upset about it for a long time if Halliburton. I mean, I don't know, bro. I mean, I agree with you.
He said he would have liked both of them. That's what he would have liked.
I don't know if Halliburton is this Halliburton with
maybe
De'Aaron.
he's not. And whenever he was playing, he was really good for them, but he was just more efficient. He was like a good role player on the team. He's a star with the Pacers. You feel me?
Yeah.
50, 40, 90 guy. I mean, flirting with it at least every year he's playing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean he's great, but dog, I mean I get like watching the Kings and being like, we could have used, a really efficient 25 points per fucking game. You know what I mean?
With -1 turnovers per game. Yeah.
And having the heavy nuts in big moments. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I see why they would miss that, but yeah.
My friend who's a Kings fan won't talk about it either.
Yeah, he was like, he flat out said he looked at me and paused. He wanted the eye contact. You know what I mean? He wanted to sit in the moment. We don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel me?
To me, I'm more excited for this game actually than the Lakers game, just because of the stylistic matchup between two teams who want to win the race to 150 points, and they don't care how many points you score while they're doing it. Tyler made a joke on Twitter. We were talking about what the over/under is going to be. The opening line, and I believe it's already moved up, was 249.5, which would make it I think they said it was the third highest over/under point total of the last 3 decades for the NBA. But that's what everyone's expecting. You're watching this game because you want to watch modern NBA offense at a high level with literally almost no effort to play defense. And I'll be curious to see what level Giannis turns it up to defensively, because that could be the difference in a game where you literally just, all right, let's see who can score more, and you're not really worried about the other end.
Yeah. Who do y'all think wins?
I think Milwaukee does.
Same.
I think they do, but I think in this go ahead. You said what?
I was gonna say Milwaukee looks like they're figuring it out a little bit more each and every game, right? If
second best team in the league right now,
corner, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like right behind the Boston, but yeah, I think they win. But with this setup, bro, Pacers could win it all. You feel me? Like have a couple of games, get hot. Tyrese do his thing a little bit. We'll see though.
I've got the Bucks. You have the Bucks, John?
I have the Bucks for sure. Yeah. But
I just think their ceiling is higher defensively, and I think we've
wait,
seen.
Say Jackson, you don't have the Bucks?
No.
Oh, interesting. What's your reasoning?
Yeah.
I think
He said, "Look how excited he is."
Dude, no, I'm not that excited. I am mad.
He said,
I'm mad that Tyrese Halliburton is so good and knocked the Celtics out. And the Celtics have a
4-point
top
play at that. Yeah.
insane play. And the Celtics have a top 5 defense in the league. I mean, this Pacers-Bucks game is going to be 150 to 160. It's going to be insanely fun. And because of that, it can for sure go either way. I'm not that confident in the Pacers.
Yeah.
I just think that if Tyrese Halliburton is doing this against elite defenses, and now Dame is guarding Tyrese Halliburton.
What did he drop 36 on y'all, right?
It's not 1996. He's not going to go. He's
I
not
know
pointing at him
not
and guarding
playing.
him for
I know
40
he's not
minutes.
slapping the floor or anything.
But they don't have good team defense either, though.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who's the guy they're going to put in front of him that's really going to slow him down?
Halliburton had 35, 13, and 10 with no turnovers against the Celtics. Against
Jesus
It's
Christ.
insanity what he's doing.
You know the stat sheet, but then you hear it again, and you're still like, what the fuck? You feel me?
All right, let's talk about the other game. Lakers-Pelicans. Pelicans are playing really well. Have been a fun team to watch throughout the in-season tournament. Good example of a team I, as a more casual fan, have probably watched 3 more Pelicans games than I would have at this point in the season if it weren't for this tournament. So how do y'all see this one shaking out? And is there any reason to think, that the refs won't just open the door for a Lakers-Bucks in-season tournament championship game?
Bro, Zion might be the most dangerous player left in that Final Four. You telling me you're going to give that man 500 racks for his horny man fun in Las Vegas? Like, hey, he going to be out there looking like 98 MJ, dog. That boy might be in the zone,
The
bro.
shoulder should be in the fadeaway.
Did you see
Looking light on
the
his
clip
feet.
Did you see the clip at the press conference today of the reporter asking him and BI if they had plans for how they were going to celebrate if they won the whole tournament?
Nah.
I've never seen a professional athlete laugh as hard and as genuinely as Zion laughed at that question. They clearly have plans for the money, bro. I'll just say that. I mean, they looked at each other, Tyler, and then they laughed for 45 seconds. They couldn't stop laughing. Bro.
They've done that before. There's a clip of them when a reporter asked them like, "What's their favorite cities to play in?" And Zion said Dallas, and it was like all his.
I saw that.
Did y'all see that shit? And then and the homies was taking him on like, "Why Dallas?" He was like, reasons. So yeah, so hey, Zion is someone who very much enjoys the spoils of his wealth and his fame, and good for him, I guess.
They laughed, and then Bi goes, "It's something like it's gonna be like a good celebration, like regardless." And then Zion pauses and goes, "Yes, sir."
But it's interesting, that same interview, Alvarado doesn't make nearly as much as him, was like, "I'm saving it for my children." Did y'all see that part?
Yeah.
And they finna throw it. They finna throw that somewhere as somebody with a Brazilian.
Yeah, that boy got that boy smiling ear to ear thinking about it. Yeah.
Zion's response was, it's legal here. I don't even have to not tell you what I would spend the money on. Oh shit. Man. Okay, well, so break it down. So you make a good point though, and that's one of the things that was interesting was the most common question at these press conferences today was, what is motivating you, the money or the competitiveness? And actually, I thought it was a really honest set of answers from all four teams. Mm-hmm. It seemed pretty evenly split. Some of these dudes are like, hey, man, you put me in a tournament, I want to win it. You put me in a historic NBA tournament, I really want to win it. And some of them have been honest. Like the Pacers, someone put it up. I think it might have been Worldwide Wob. Someone put it up about the Pacers. 11
of those dudes make less than $3 million or less or something.
It's It's life-changing money for them. And as someone who has known like sort of fringe NBA guys, bro, like you're taxed very highly. I'm not obviously asking anyone to play a violin for NBA guys. If you're sort of a lower tier NBA guy, you come in, you're making a couple million a year. Your cost of living is very high because you have to live in a secure facility, all this other stuff. If you're trying to keep up at all with looking like an NBA player, you also have to spend money on other shit. But then you're taxed very highly on a window of income that could only be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You're like in California, I think it's like 55% of your salary. So $500,000 for these dudes. Now I have bad news for them on the tax front about how bonuses are taxed, I guess.
Was it 60%, 50%?
Yeah.
It's
going to take
they see less than half of that shit. You feel me? Something like that, yeah.
But genuinely, if you're making under $3 million and they cut you a check for $500,000, like that is significant for you. And a lot of these dudes are thinking about their kids and their grandkids. So
Darvin Ham spoke to the fact he was like, yo, that bag, the people they don't have bags at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like money talks. You feel me? Like 500,000 is 500,000. Let one of them nigga get fined 500,000. You feel me? Like, you know what I mean? We see him get fined for 25,000 to get to complaining. Like, it's still 25K regardless of how much they make. So 500K, bro, that goes a long way, bro. They want that for sure.
So what do you think? Motivations aside, Pelicans-Lakers, what are your predictions?
Lakers. Hey, look, we might need to have a conversation on where we are at with the believing the lie meter, because this Bron that we're seeing so far this season, man. Hey,
it's not just Bron. It's the length defensively. Now that they're healthy again, it's Austin Reeves with the pressure of having to defend other teams' best guards taken off of him coming off the bench. Like I don't even think it's a lie, bro. I mean, they're fourth place in the West right now, and they genuinely have some things upside wide. They're fourth in the West without really having had their roster together for most of the season. Right. So I don't know. I think I'm pretty optimistic, to be honest.
I mean, what we saw him do last night, I don't think Bron can do that regularly. You know what I mean? And so I don't think we need AD to be the best player on the team. I think we just needed him carry him during certain stretches. But AD isn't healthy. You know what I mean? He doesn't stay healthy. So there's an issue there. But I think Bron just can't do what he did on a nightly basis, like, what he did last night on a nightly basis. I don't think he's 21 years in the league. So I think that's the issue. You know what I mean? I think, like, the person we need to carry them isn't healthy. Is less healthy than Bron. You feel me?
That's fair, but Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, we'll see this week. Got 3 games. They clearly are signaling we care as much about this as we would about any other postseason kind of a thing.
No, they could win the tourney. I'm talking about, I think the believe the lie is not the Gary O'Brien, but the Larry O'Brien. Are we still talking about the Gary or the Larry? What we on? Because I was talking about the Larry. I wasn't talking about the Gary. No. He can win the Gary. He can do it for 2 more nights. I don't know about the Larry, though. You feel me?
I mean, I don't even know if this is a hot take, but I think, like, Denver is probably the only team that can bounce the Lakers if they play like this.
Yeah,
In the West?
Yeah, in the West. Yeah.
I don't know that they could score with the Bucks. You know, I mean, like, but yeah, in the West, I totally agree with you.
I'm talking West playoffs, not the
West Conference. In the West, to me, is the Nuggets and the Lakers for sure.
You don't think the Timberwolves get him out of there? You ain't got Minnesota beating them?
The fuck out of here.
Mike was actually mad. If you're watching YouTube, look at Mike's face when I said that. Fuck out of here. He was angry.
But I do like, because I mean, it's interesting because Laker fans either have two modes: irrational overconfidence or irrational shitting themselves. Like, there's no in between. And so I have a lot of friends who are kind of like what Tyler said, like sort of tiptoeing into it. You know, like, how are we feeling? And I go, are you worried about the Oklahoma City Thunder's collection of 20 years? Like, no, like, serious question. Like, look at the West right now. Who are you worried about as a Lakers fan?
Minnesota, Oklahoma, the Nuggets. That's that's about. And you don't care about. All you care about is Nuggets for sure.
The Nuggets. So so again, like, I understand the Lakers. You know, you're a fan, whatever. Like, the expectation is championships, but you put my team in the Western Conference Finals year in, year out. Shit happens, bro. I feel good about, chances of contending at that point. But I would say this, but the Nuggets are fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's looking too easy for them.
Yeah.
If Bron can stay, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I just think we can't keep doing the Bron can't keep doing this when he does doing it.
No,
like,
he
you know
hasn't though.
Like,
no, I think he reaches his.
He had a bad foot last postseason,
and
bro.
the year before that he was hurt too. And that's what I'm saying is if he has to play like this for wins throughout the year, he can't stay healthy.
I don't think with the roster together, I don't think that. I mean, knock on wood. I mean, it's hard to say, bro, because he's been playing so well. It's like you can't really like. Fair enough. Without him last night, they sucked.
He looked great last year until he got hurt. I mean, he was averaging 30 a game. You feel me? But the year before that, he was incredible too. You feel me? Like, and was it last year? The last 3 years he's been hurt in the playoffs.
Not this year, though.
Not okay.
Sounds like
and I hope you're right, bro.
Being believed, baby.
And I hope right.
That's the difference. This year.
Yeah. I hear you. But that's my only issue. It's not Bron's quality of play. You know what I'm saying? I believe Bron has that. He can drop a 40 ball if necessary. I feel like he has that in him still. I'm just saying that he can't play the way he played last night consistently, or the night before when they hear this. You know what I'm saying? Consistently. So.
Yeah. All right. Any other?
And I hope he makes a big ass lie of me like Katie made a lie of us.
Or the Nuggets.
Yeah.
I mean, the Nuggets so completely last year, because I didn't even think it was like a hot take when we were saying like, hey, historically teams with this defensive rating don't do well in the playoffs. Like, I didn't even think it was a hot take. And they so thoroughly disproved 6 decades of NBA history with the way they went through the postseason that they completely changed the way I see the NBA playoffs. Like, I have friends arguing about, did the Bucks lose too much defense by getting id of Drew Holiday? I'm like, who cares? Who cares about defense?
As long as you can score more than the other team.
It doesn't. That's not the sport anymore, bro. So anyway, you guys have any other John? So you've got Lakers as well?
I got Lakers for.
Okay, so all three of us are on the Lakers. Jackson, are you also a contrarian in picking the Pelicans?
No.
Who do you think wins it all?
I think the Lakers.
I think Milwaukee does.
I think the Lakers do, just because I think Tyrese Halliburton's star sort of runs out against Anthony Davis. But
I'm going with the Lakers, man.
I'm gonna go with the Lakers too. We're fucking invincible right now.
Yeah, well, who gives a fuck if I'm wrong or right?
We might not lose a game for the rest of the season.
Hell, fucking yeah, Mike.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about.
Brian drops 40 a night, stays healthy for 2 more years. What the fuck you mean? Speaking to existence.
His dick gets a half-inch longer every game.
He's wrapping it around his knee by April. Hell yeah, brother. Let's lean all the way in, bro. Hell yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that. All right.
But I'm glad you did.
We had 2 trailers drop that we're very excited about. Long awaited for. The degenerates out here have been coasting on the GTA 5 fumes for like 10 years? How long has it been? 10 years, something like that. That's pretty nuts. Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer came out. I thought it looked great. Tyler, you said this might be the video game, and that was the trailer that broke your brain's ability to process reality.
Dog, did y'all see that clip?
Yes.
Yeah, man. That ass was assing.
And I thought I was an ass connoisseur, and I got bamboozled. I
Bruh.
couldn't believe it. But yeah,
The fluidity was incredible. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, it was like I saw somebody say, oh, she done busted open on the Uncanny Valley. If you know what the Uncanny Valley is, and shit, right?
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, that was just like, bro, that shit blew my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not even on some horny shit. I'm not on my Zion shit right now. But that was just like, bro,
You ain't got a lot else. It's all right, man. You ain't got a lot.
I'm just like, dog. I have always been able to distinguish video games from reality, and that being the one clip that finally broke my mind's ability to do that, being some bouncing ass, that threw me for one, dog.
Yeah.
And the hair, bro. The hair was crazy and flowing too. But did you see that was a clip from there's somebody put like a supercut together of like things that happened in Florida that went viral and then connected it to the I love that they did that. That's beautiful. I think that's so smart. You know what I mean? So creative.
You weren't being Tyler wasn't being Zion. It was like a Stephen A. Smith moment. It was like horny but analytically so.
Yes. Analytically horny.
Now
Still horny.
I'm a booty man myself. But did you guys see the conversation that Elon Musk had about how he's never played Grand Theft Auto games because he didn't like committing crimes?
What a bitch. Bro, I didn't hear that.
He
God,
said,
I really do not like him.
he had to open shooting cops, and I was not going to ride with that. You dog.
Shut up, bro.
I don't even want to tell you some of the things I've done when I played Grand Theft Auto, because, bro, like that's the whole point of it, to be as degenerate and as terrible as you possibly can be. You know what I mean? That is the exact allure of it.
I mean, yeah, bro. Like I just look. I'm a nice person. I'm a very boring person. Not in the video game. This is a video game. It's not real. We haven't yet crossed the point to where the characters in the video game are real. Me and my friend play Red Dead Redemption. We tied up a nun.
Mike.
We had a contest in the newspaper. I was
How many nuns could you tie up? The contest was? Jesus Christ.
Like, who could think of the craziest thing to do? So someone like rode their horse off a cliff and like shot the horse as they're falling. Right? They got crushed under the horse.
Impressive.
But we tied up a nun, dropped her on the train tracks. Set her on fire right as the train came.
Oh, wow.
It's not real life, bro. It's a video game. Elon.
I would
maybe
drop a 20
Maybe
ball
Elon's right.
I
I
would
don't
drop
know.
a 20 ball in GTA. You feel me?
Yeah.
Run the 5 stars up, get away from the cops, you know what I mean? And then get a woman of the night and enjoy myself then, bro. I had me an evening. You know what I mean? Fuck you mean?
You had a Zion wins the in-season tournament.
That's a Tuesday for Zion. That's just Tuesday, brother.
Oh shit. Okay, we also had the trailer drop for the second season of House of the Dragon. If you've been listening to this, so first of all, I think, and there are thousands of Game of Thrones recaps out there, I think that the two of you were the funniest Game of Thrones recaps that were on the internet. And so I've been very excited about the return of this show. I thought we had a great time talking about it last year. I have read all of the books, including the section of Fire and Blood that House of the Dragon is based on. I have mentioned a couple times on the show, and I know Tyler is also aware of sort of where the plot is going. This season and the next season, I think, will be the craziest shit Game of Thrones has ever put on TV. I think that this is going to be a return to, like, the first season was really good in setting up where the chess pieces are.
Was it close to the books too? I'm wondering how close we're going to keep to the. Okay,
yes.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Seasons 2 and 3, I think, will be a true return to the height of Game of Thrones craziness. George R.R. Martin just did a tour of the sets. He said that the Red Keep set was bigger than any set that had ever been put together during Game of Thrones. He said he'd never been blown away by sets the way he was blown away by Winterfell and the Red Keep that they put together for these upcoming seasons. I'm not going to say we will always be a spoiler-free podcast till we get to the episode recaps next year when the show's coming out or whatever. But as Tyler and I have alluded to, the plot is going to go to places I think might be the craziest specific, crazy shit they've ever done. And but just watching that trailer felt like I mean, that shit felt like home, bro. Like that was a beautiful. I'm dead serious. It was a beautiful trailer, was it not?
Dog, it was the trailer was incredible, right? And they kind of and the thing is they couldn't show too much because, you know, like you said, when George R.R. Martin was talking about visiting the set, he also mentioned that, you know, the first 2 episodes are, you know, beautiful in the sense of how it adapts the source material, right? He was like, but it's very grim and it's very dark, right? So they're coming out the gates, you know, with the dark shit. And yeah, like you know, Mike and I know what's gonna happen, and the people who don't know are going to be in for a fucking ride, and we're just gonna leave it at that.
Should I read the books? What do you think?
The books are great.
I mean, I highly recommend it. But, you know, also I would say that I am kind of envious of the people who are going to watch and not know.
Tyler, you read the books?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got
Okay. He said, "Yeah, I got it."
He read the book he read the book that these are basically the Fire and Blood. Yep.
Okay.
So that book is the first half of a history of the Targaryen family, and this 4 seasons is adapted out of it's like 60 to 90 pages or something from that book. All 4 seasons coming out. So it's very different than an 800 book equals 1 season of TV, like the original like main series was. But there is a lot of shit in there for them to adapt, and the way that it looks like they're handling this is, I'm just very excited. We'll have some big plans. We're a ways away from figuring out what they are. We'll have some big plans for when that show comes back. So I know we'll be very excited. I wish I could watch. I might actually I might have to pull up to John's house to watch that first episode with him.
I'm gonna read the books. When is it dropping?
This summer.
Okay, cool.
But it's just the one book. It's just the one. It's just that Fire and Blood.
It's just that one book. Okay,
book.
cool.
Yeah. And even like I said, the stuff that the show is based on is only even like less than 100 pages out of that book. So that's how I got pulled into all of it. Was my friend Ryan and I, literally on the same shit Tyler was, just like, I can't wait 3 years. So I'm not even gonna pretend I can wait 3 years for this shit. So we read Fire and Blood together, and then we liked it so much we just ended up reading everything else because it's good stuff, man. It's the whole shit is good. All right, that's all the time we got. We'll be back on Saturday and then on Monday with a regular episode, and we will see y'all then. Hope your team does well. Hope the refs cheat for your team in the in-season tournament. Jenkins and Jonez fans, we'll see y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.